Dear students, welcome to the session on General Principle of Design, Drawing and Importance of Safety. I am Kanchan Kumar Thakur from IES Master presenting on this. What can we expect in this topic? We can be asked about the general principles involved in making drawings which are used in the construction projects as well as in the manufacturing processes. If we briefly outline what are the various topics that would be there in it, then the first thing that would be there would be the selection of the drawing sheets. We have various types of sheets, like you have your ISO A sheet, we have elongated sheet, and we have exceptionally elongated sheets. These sheets are used depending upon the type of drawing to be made. Now, the type of sheets to be adopted will depend upon the detailing that we need to do. Like if we classify the topic of say ISA A type sheets, then you know we have A0, A1, A2, A3, A4 sheets. Now the question that can be asked from that would be, what are the sizes of the various sheets? What is the area of a particular sheet? In what ratio we have the sides of the sheet? Like if we have A0 sheet or any other sheets, the length by width ratio is generally taken as √2:1. Now you have to simply remember that what is the size. If one size is known, the other size can be obtained. Now the second thing that we can expect would be the layout of the sheet. Now depending upon the type of drawing, like if it is a detailed drawing or if it is an assembly drawing, we can have different layouts of the sheets that we follow. In the layout of the sheets, you have a very important point, that is title block. So we will be asked questions about where the title blocks are placed, what should be the size of those title blocks, what should be the content of those title blocks, and also now there are certain other things like where is the center marking, why do we make a center mark, where do we mark the orientation lines, what is the purpose of orientation marks, why do we make grids on the drawings. Like if you make a grid on the line, there would be certain detailing of the drawings in a particular grid. So just by giving the reference to that grid, we can easily reach to those details. So for these reasons, you need to make the grids in the drawing. Also, you know that we have in the drawings, there are certain scales that needs to be marked. So we have to know the location where we mark the scale. Now if they ask you question as to what is scale, then you can say that we have various types of scales. The first and most common would be the one in which if we have the size of the drawing same as that of the object, then we generally adopt 1:1 scale. Sometimes we adopt reduced scale, sometimes we adopt elongated scales. Like in reduced scales, we generally show the drawing smaller than the original subject, and hence the scale could be say 1:5, 1:6. In the enlarged scale, we can have say drawing shown bigger than the actual object. In that case, we can have 2:1, 5:1. Generally, the scale should be. The next question that can be asked would be about how do we fold the sheet. You know, the sheets are generally bigger in size. When we carry it to the working site, there it might get torn if it is not properly folded. So we have a procedure for folding of the sheets. So question can be asked from that as well. Now we have also to describe the various types of lines that we draw. Like you can have solid lines, you can have say dotted lines or broken lines, we can have zigzag lines, and each of these lines are drawn for a particular purpose. Like when you draw the outer boundary, we generally use the solid lines. When you use the center line, maybe you are using the broken lines. So for different purposes, what are the different types of lines that we adopt, that has to be studied. At the same time, we must know about the thickness of the lines and what is the precedence of the line. Like some lines are more prominent then other lines. So there is a particular set of precedence set for various lines. So those things will be studied under the type of lines. Also, you need to write certain text or numerics on the drawing. So there are recommendations for these writing as well, like what should be the size, what should be the angle of inclination of the letters, what should be the gap between the letters. These are the things that might also be asked you. Apart from that, a very important point that needs to be marked on the drawing is the projection system you adopt in making the drawing. Like you might have heard of, in orthographic projections, we have first angle projection, we have third angle projections. There are other projection systems like central projection, axonometric projections. So these are various types of projection systems, and the questions would be asked based on this. All of these descriptions would be there in your IES code. IES code has published a code named Special Publication 46, in which you can get the details of all such things. Regarding importance of safety part, generally most of the project have environmental health and safety manual, and normally we will be following the safety part from those manuals.